good, YouTube? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again, back with the banger today, guys. And today we have our hands on the SLX 762. Now, we've had this one in particular since February of this year and have been running it on various different platforms. We've ran it so far on the SIG Rattler in 300 Blackout, the SIG Spear LT in 762x39, and real recently with the SIG Spear in 308. And for the most part, we've seen some very good results. The SLX and the SLH are the two brand new suppressors that have been brought to by SIG, and of course the new NG68, which is also a version of the SLX that is featured with the brand new military 6.8 that is being featured for the SIG Spear. This one in particular is the 308 civilian version, the older model. If you guys know now, they have recently released a brand new spear, which is featuring that 6.8 caliber round, or that 277 Fury, whichever you want to call it. But you know, there's a little bit of difference. One is a hybrid and one is like a low power round, as they would say. But with that being said, there is now a new suppressor that goes along with that particular 6.8 round caliber in the brand new SIG Spear featured in that caliber. But what we have here, of course, as stated before, is the SLX in 762, and the SLX line has two calibers within it, and that is the 5.56 version and then the 7.62 version. Direct threads, as well as the new clutch QD system featured here that could be on either one of those calibers. This one in particular, as you can see though, is the 7.62 with the brand new clutch adapter. And then there is the SLH line, which is featured with 300 Blackout, 5.56, and 7.62. And that one is basically SIG's Low-Tox hybrid, while the SLX is SIG's Low-Tox version. So you may be asking is, what is the difference between the SLX and the SLH? Well, the SLX, which we are featured here, is the Low-Tox version. That is pretty much they're focusing more on less gas to the face and kind of substituting that for a lower sound. And basically within here, the baffles are helping getting that gas to escape faster. And by doing that, you are going to have a slightly louder sound, but you will have a better flash reduction and less gas to the face. Whereas the SLH is kind of giving you a better sound suppression, but you will be getting slightly more gas to the face. So you're getting one over the other. And what is preferred, I guess, with the military contracts right now is the SLX suppressor, which is featured on that NG68. So the SLX and the SLH, very similar as far as being low-tox or flow-through suppressors. However, this one in particular is going to give you a better flow through and less gas, 60 to 80% to the face, but be louder than that of the SLH. So keep that in mind. Give you some of the specs real quick off the rip. This one in particular, as stated before, is the SLH 762 QD. And the overall length of this one is 7.4 inches. The overall diameter is 1.67 inches. And then you have a 1.21 pounds, and it is featured within the material is Inconel, so keep that one in mind. This, of course, though, is the longer version, I believe. Let me just make sure. I know for the 5.56, yes, I'm gonna take a guess. The 5.56 version has a compact version, and then there's a compact version of the 7.62 as well. So this is the longer version. The compact version that I'm looking at right now, right here in particular, is 2 inches less, which is a 5.2 inch version of this one right here. Now, how does the suppressor perform, in my opinion, right? Well, it performs fairly well for what it is. It's not going to be the quietest suppressor out there. And in particular, if I had to pick or tell you what it's best for, it's best for the SIG Spear in 308. And this actual suppressor too, as stated by SIG themselves, is made for supersonic rounds. So it's not trying to be quiet. It's trying to be, I guess, less gas to the face, healthier, you know, less toxins. That's what it's primarily for. So if you're looking for something to be extremely quiet, you're going to want to prefer probably to go with the SLH. That will give you the better sound reduction. But if it's something that you're looking for in less suppression and flash suppression, this is definitely the way to go. And a cleaner overall look. If you see when shooting it, you will notice that a lot of gas is being pushed out the front of the muzzle rather than coming straight out that ejection port and being extremely gassy. There is still some gas there, but not as much as it typically would be when running a suppressor that is going to give you a quieter sound. That's just mainly the one issue, of course, with suppression, is that that gas has to go somewhere, and majority of the time it has to be utilized to blow back and, you know, push that bolt back. Hence why there's always the adjustable gas block to help you get that bolt to go back. But with this one in particular, it's all going through the front, so it's less gas there, but at the same time you're getting less gas in the back, but it's giving you an overall cleaner, you know, just less carbon and cancer to affect you down the road. And let me just say this, I'm not like a suppression tech or suppression scientist, okay? But I did a little bit of research and I try to do the best I can to give you guys the explanation. And at the same time, there's really not an actual review on this particular suppressor. Like, there's a ton of suppressor videos out there on the SLX and the SLH, but not one just dedicated specifically to this one in particular. And, you know, hey, I'm here to do it. Now, I'm gonna read from what SIG says, because they're smarter than me. SIG Sauer is proud to introduce the new SLX and SLH series of suppressors. Both the SLX and SLH were developed to meet the demands of the US military and are designed to deliver cutting-edge performance. The internal multi-flow path within the SLX suppressor allows gases to exhaust at a faster rate than the traditional baffle-style suppressors. This results in 70 to 80% less toxic fumes flowing back through the ejection port into the shooter's face. The SLX series is a performance-based suppressor designed for the use with supersonic ammunition and is ideal for users focused on flash reduction and low toxic fumes. The new Low-Tox SLX suppressor delivers a superior shooting experience unlike any other suppressors out there. So, as I said before, I saw this thing shine the most when shooting it through the Spear 308. It was very quiet. There's a comparison of it without it and with it. Regular 308. And you can tell it totally, like, yeah. You see, like, it's obvious that, like, that does its job there. However, when shooting subsonic and supersonic out of the Rattler, I didn't really get a good sound reduction, as you can see here. Ready. Ready. All right, y'all, so we're at the range right now, and we are just shooting the Rattler LT with the brand new SIG SLX 762 suppressor, and this has the QD mount on it. We're also running American Marksman Supersonic 150 grain and their Subsonic 220 grain, and we're basically doing some testing with the SLX, which we'll be dropping a video on very soon, but we're going to show you guys, you know, how well it performs. The first 10 rounds are supersonic, the next 10 rounds are subsonic. Kind of loud, kind of loud. See that compared to, like, for instance, the Omega 300? You can see there, obviously, that there's a big difference. But once again, its main objective is not to be focused on sound reduction, but flash reduction as well as less gas to the face. So it's really what you want to decide to use it for, or what you want to use it for, and the type of situation you're in. But at the same time, I can understand why this would be used for the military for sure, because if they're utilizing this in a situation, or they're using it in full auto, or whoever knows what it is, I mean, you're gonna be putting so many rounds down, you're not gonna be, like, all that gas in your face over time is just not gonna be good for you, especially if it's gonna be something that's gonna be a high round count type of, you know, type of firearm. So I can understand it there. But overall, I think it's good. I mean, a great suppressor for what it is and what it does. I shot the 300 Blackout SLX during SIG Next, and it's definitely quiet. It definitely does the job there as well. I just stated as before, like, you got to just go in when you know what you're getting it for. You should understand what you're getting it for, and you won't be upset. Coming in and getting the SLX, when I got it, right? I got it in, I'm like, okay, I'm excited to try this on the Spear. And then I shot it and I'm like, okay, it's a little quiet, but it's, you know, I shot it on the Rattler first, I want to say, and I was like, it's quiet, but it sounds like a little bit louder than my R9. And then I was like, let me look more and more into this and kind of figure out more in depth about the differences between the SLH and the SLX, and learning that its main focus, I realized, okay, well, it's performing as it's supposed to be performing. If I want something quieter, go with something quieter like the Omega, but understand it's gonna be a gassier gun. But I saw it, as I stated before, perform, and it's 7.62 NATO. It's meant for this round. It ran fairly well though on 7.62 by 39 as well. I got to give it up to that, but this is where it shines. This is where you shoot this on the 308 without it, you shoot it with it, it makes that round sound way, way quieter. It makes 308 sound like, I would say maybe 556 or even lower, maybe even close to 760. It brings it down a lot. But you may be asking yourself, like, what is this suppressor? Who is this suppressor for? Well, I would just say in return, like, this suppressor was built for this particular firearm. This is it. Now, there is the new NG version that's made for the 6.8 version of this gun, but this particular suppressor, the 7.62 NATO, was made for the 308 Spear. The 7.62 NATO Spear. This is what it was made for. Is there a suppressor we could put on here that would make it quieter? Yes. Is that better? It depends on what you want to do at the end of the day. If you want something quieter, that may be the route you want to go. You also have, of course, the SLH version, and the 7.62 NATO is going to give you a little bit quieter, a little bit more sound suppression, but a little bit more gas to the face. So it's really like, it ain't really like what's the best or the better suppressor. It's more so what do you want to perform with the suppressor that you use. So if you want less gas and you like the sound, hey, I'm all for it. Go for it. But with that being said, I wanted to give you guys my thoughts and opinions and my review on the SLX 7.62 NATO. And you can see it ran on a Rattler, a Spear, and as well as the 7.62 by 39 LT. With that all being said, we did not run it on a 5.56, so unfortunately, you know, we did not get to see that. But I think running 5.56 would, it'd be some sound reduction, but not as good as 308 what it's meant for, you know, this or 300 Blackout or 7.62 by 39. This is my opinion. Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I'm new to suppressor reviews of some sorts, but hopefully you enjoyed it. We are going to be dropping the review on this one as well, so stay tuned. That should be coming probably the next video on up. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.